So, Deepe, I heard you're going up for independent candidate for Dominica. If you were the Prime Minister, what would you do?
If I was the Prime Minister of Dominica, I woulda get the plug, send them big boat from the whole Caribbean. Build some factories so people can get work if they want. Yes, I would rise up on the cost of labor so youth can see their future, so they can pull together. I would rush the airport, bring in foreign investors, build some structures to battle up with any weather. Legalize the weed to the fullest, let the thugs go water to make the euro and the US to feed their children. I know how it feels to live in a country with no kind of means, to make the money how you please, because to every ghetto youth this is a dream, to own your first max and don't kill for it. Dominicans, it's a lie. It's time for you to realize you need to plant your food in order for you to survive. The Bible said his faith with works is not work with faith. While your hard work go jump the drain, I would bring back Ross and fix.
Good afternoon to everybody. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another Team Unity Roundtable discussion. And you were listening to the voice of Deepeng, a Dominican young musician who put this song together called "If I Was." If I was, and you can get the message coming out from the youth in this song here. Um, of course, just good afternoon to those who are tuned in, those who will be joining us afterwards, who are looking at the replay. We invite you to stay on board and look at not only this program but previous programs where we talk about Dominica, where we'd like to see Dominica. And Team Unity is all about solutions. Part of the series that we're looking at is how do we get Dominica out of the position that we have found ourselves? How do we get our country into the position where we can fend for ourselves and be comfortable for the average Dominican, being able to provide for their family, being able to send their children to school with no headache, no worry about the food on the table. And we emphasized last week on our government employing our Dominican people, and not just giving them basic work, but invest in Dominicans in the high level jobs. We're building an airport. We have over 300 and something people working in there, but how many Dominicans actively working with their own equipment? We saw many boats coming in with equipment to work in Dominica. They're just completing this Douglas Charles Airport extension, and most of this equipment came in from Barbados. But would have preferred if Dominicans were empowered. Another side of it is Dominicans, we need to plant food. We need to focus more on feeding ourselves, grow. And if you listen to the last words of this song that we just listened to, Deepeng was suggesting that we need to plant to survive. We need to eat. So we have to go back to the soil. A lot of us we're scared to dirty our hands, but you have to dirty your hands. A man who will not go into the soil and do something, he wouldn't eat. Man shall not live by bread alone. So you have to sweat off your brow. And one of the persons who have been actively contacting persons from Dominica is one of our Dominicans who is living out of state, and she is actively working for her country. She started doing some. No, let me not preempt her. She's a beautiful young lady. Let me welcome Mistress Petra Carbon George. How are you, Mrs. George?
Hi, afternoon, Carlos. I'm fine. I'm fine.
And you have started something new recently. I think for the independence you were part of, or you were spearheading this airline, getting persons from the VIs into Dominica. First off, you can start off by telling us about this. Is that still ongoing? How is it going? How has it been?
Yes, yes, it's still ongoing. It's on a little down low for now because I was using charter companies, and for some reason, some of the companies have increased their price, which makes it very expensive to
Okay.
travel from the U.S. Virgin Islands to Dominica. But
Right.
I'm also working with another Dominican who's in that business as well, and have
Okay.
just gotten an aircraft and the license to do so. So
Right.
I'm working with this
Splendid.
young Dominican as well, and so that we could team up together to have it on a regular basis starting this month, sometime this month. So yeah, so I'm still working at it, working hard to help our people to get back to
Uh,
Dominica when they want to.
and you said something important. You're working together with another young Dominican who is
Yes,
already in the business.
yes,
Right? So you see the importance in making linkages and us Dominicans being unafraid to work together with each other to get to achieve a common goal. That is something that is sorely lacking. I'm not sure that is not the only thing they're doing. I saw online there, I picked online there, and I saw a flyer, and this is the essence of our discussion today. And I want you to go in depth, I think, as to how you came up with this idea and how persons can get on board and so on. Give us the full details. Give us the full details. And I'm making reference to this flyer where you're talking about facilitating trade in Dominica through agricultural exports, right? And I'm thinking you need to give us some details about that. Tell us more about this.
Yes. So, first and foremost, when I was in Dominica, before I got the opportunity to go to St. Croix, I was a port officer for 14 years.
Port
So,
officer.
being trade on the ports, export to St. Martin, St. Kitts, Nevis, Montserrat, Guadeloupe, Martinique, St. Lucia. It's not nothing new, and I love the way the people use our soil, what God have given us,
Hmm.
to to make to create employment for themselves and to provide for their families. So after going to the U.S. Virgin Islands, I went to the supermarket and the food level was just not like ours. Like we have so much high quality produce in Dominica. So I
Right.
said to myself, how can I help my fellow Dominicans in our country to become financially independent and also help myself by creating another source of income for myself? And so I said, since I already knew some people by working on the port, I said, let me extend my services to these people. And so I
Right.
try reaching to farmers and reaching to other persons I knew that does the trade and tell them of my interest and what I'm trying to do. And then I spoke to some of the supermarkets in the US Virgin Islands, and they were happy that some young person, because they used to do it before, some person used to do it before, and it stopped for a while. So they were happy that a young person was taking up the mandate again to bring in Dominican produce. One of the supermarket owners that buy the produce told me that Dominican produce is, it's so rich. The taste is different, and it made me feel so happy that we can produce that type of high quality to foreign investors or consumers, if you may. And so I say, okay, I am on the right. So I came up with that facilitating trade through our agricultural sector and to help the farmers and the young people to understand that if their forefathers used agriculture before to take care of their family, to send them to high school, to send them to college, to build, to buy vehicles, then we
Right.
the young persons can do the same. And
Right.
so was where I came with the idea, and that's why I'm promoting it so heavily. I have a lot of people reaching out to me, trying to, find out more about what I am doing. and I'm very grateful to that. So I really had a lot of people who were really interested and want to go back to the soil, and some who buy from farmers and want to sell to me as well. So I think it's on the right direction,
You're muted. You're muted.
especially
You're muted again.
Dominica, when our people are going through so much. I don't know, my computer doing what it wants.
Yes, this technology can be like that sometimes. But yes, Petra, this is a splendid idea. Um, I remember our past Prime Minister, this is Dame Virginia Charles. She has always been a person who has advocated for diversify the agriculture. Back then, we were solely dependent on bananas.
Yeah.
What are some of the products that you are looking for from our Dominican farmers?
Okay. So one of the highest demand is seasoning peppers.
Oh wow!
And yes, seasoning peppers is in very high demand in the U.S. Virgin Islands. And so this is a short-term crop which can bring in some quick income. So if persons, you don't have to have a lot of land to do that. You could do it in your backyard. You could do it on small parcels of land. So if anybody is interested in planting peppers, seasoning peppers, that would be good. I would be looking to buy from them as well. But they also want our dashins, they want our tanyers, they want
Right,
yam,
the
both
yams.
white and yellow yam.
Right,
Some of the other demands are ginger, our bananas, plantain, and oh, cucumbers, and even our watermelons. They would love to try our watermelon as well.
okay, okay. Petra, you can. I see your child has just come to give you get some attention there. A busy lady. Thank you for taking some of your busy schedule to talk to us. Can you tie in how the agricultural sector works with the economy of Dominica? How in terms of getting us financially free, being able to have money circulating in the local economy, and probably when you're talking about that, you can talk about how how the business, if you want to, of course, the business aspect works with your farmers. Do they contact you directly? Do they set up do they set up a group of farming groups for area? So how does it work? If I'm a farmer, I'm looking at this now. Okay, I have my crop. How do I get paid for my crop? Because you you're out of the person doing the work is out of Dominica and is not Dexia. I can go to Dexia office and make noise and find out what happening. So how do you work it out in the farm? Do you have someone local who does work on your behalf, or how does it work? And tell us about what you think the linkages between agriculture and the local industry, and being able to be more financially free.
Okay, so for one, I know there's a Dexia office in Portsmouth. One of the agents in Portsmouth, we work closely with Dexia. So we also trying. I personally also trying to incorporate and buy from Dexia as well. And so I would have him deal with Dexia for me, and then I would have the farmers contact me directly. I would have preferred to deal with them directly because I don't really believe in all that middleman. So I will deal with them directly. I will pay them. I will pay them directly. I will pay them directly as well.
Okay, so that clears that up. So farmers, if you want to get your product sold, please contact Miss Mrs. Petra Carbon George. And if you're seeing this is the flyer for the program, and you can contact her either through email or through WhatsApp. She's also on Facebook. Well, she is fairly active on Facebook through the social media platforms. And get in touch with her. And if you have peppers, if you're seasoning peppers, if you have yams, dashings, what else Petra said? Did I miss out anything, Petra?
Yams, did you say yams?
Yes, I said yams.
Tanya,
Onions, dashing, your
cucumbers, seasoning peppers,
cucumbers. You specify
plantain,
one seasoning
green
peppers,
bananas.
plantains, bananas. So that means you're doing it through ocean travel.
Um, right now we using aircraft.
Oh, you're doing
Yes,
it
we're
by
using
air.
aircraft now. Yes, but in the near future, we're hoping to have sea transportation because it will make it easier and cheaper for the
Right.
consumers here because the weight is
The
more
way,
expensive
of course,
in
it
the weight.
affects the price.
Yes,
Right.
more expensive
And
is in the weight.
and am I seeing Petra beating the government at providing a boat for produce to sell?
Well, Carlos, that is part of the package. I mean, when you go into that type of thing, you want to go all out to get it done. And I am somebody I believe and I know my potential. And so if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it all out. And so I hope that the government will be able to assist me in giving me duty-free concessions when I bring in my vessel, that I don't have to pay that ton of taxes for my vessel, and to make it harder for me and my customers to be able to do trade. Because what I really want to do is to help Dominicans, because we see that right now so many people are relying on persons to provide employment for them. But going back to the soil, you can determine how much money you make. You can determine, you can based on how much you plant. So you can take care of your family single. And with buying from what I'm doing is not only for me, but I'm also trying to enhance the trade that is already there between St. Dominic and St. Kitts. We have hucksters that are saying that Dominica have no produce, and one of the things we don't want to do is to have our hucksters leave Dominica and go to St. Vincent and buy their load to resell in another country. Because
Really?
yes, Dominicans can buy their load from St. Vincent and go to sell to St. Martin, because it's not impossible, because you could do that. You could do that. You could definitely do that. I
So, so you're
remember.
saying, with all that land available in Dominica, our hucksters are leaving Dominica because there are not enough produce for them to sell in the other countries, so they have to go down to Saint Vincent.
No, what I saying is this. I say we do not want them to do it. So nobody have started it yet. I
Okay,
remember once upon a time I was working on the port. I'm not sure what it was, if it's banana or plantain that hucksters were getting out of St. Lucia, if I am correct. If somebody know if it's St. Lucia or Martinique, they can correct me. But I remember a time when Dominica was, we didn't have enough produce to export, and some of the hucksters were buying the produce from the other countries to export. Because when you have your clients, your contacts,
yes.
you have to provide for them.
They
And
don't
if
care where it come from, as
no,
long as it looks good and it's good produce that they can present to the end clients. That's
yes,
all.
and
That's
we
all they
have to
want to
remember
know.
also, we are not the only one on the market in the other country.
Correct.
So if we don't produce in Dominica for our hucksters to export,
Mhm.
then by when they go back, somebody else already occupied the space.
Somebody
And
replace them.
again, yes, it will be very hard because the people want consistency. And the other people, they produce are way cheaper sometimes than those that we are exporting from Dominica.
Okay.
So we have to take that into consideration as well. That it's not only ourselves that we're hurting in Dominica, but we're also hurting the hucksters who rely on the farmers to make their living. So if the farmers don't plant, the hucksters don't get produce, the hucksters can have a living as well. So it's and the boats that are living in Portsmouth to go to St. Martin, they cannot leave empty.
Right.
So if the people stop planting, the hucksters don't go, and the boat owners they can't move the boat. So
Right.
that is
There's
the amount
so
of people that
again,
it
linkages.
affects.
Linkages.
Yes, it will
Curious.
affect a lot of people because then the boat owner employs probably 5 or 6 different people who is the
Right.
breadwinner for families.
Right.
And so if we the farmers don't go back to the land, not only for ourselves, but we are also assisting other people in creating employment for themselves. So
Right.
that is why I am advocating that we go back to the land. God have blessed us with rich soil, with water, everything that we need to grow plants. God have blessed us with it. So
And and as you mentioned it, I have to give a shout out to persons like Mr. Wade, old school Mr. Wade, who has been in the business for many years.
yeah,
Um, and I see this young man, Mr. Deroche, who just got
Candle.
into the business, and I'm very proud of him. He's a
His
former,
dad used to do it before.
say again, his
His
dad.
dad used to do it before.
So he's continuing the family business.
Yeah.
There are these guys, I forgot his name, this young captain.
Yes, from
I think
Portsmouth.
about his spirit.
Yes.
Yes, I
That's
think
Ricky's son. Yes. I know all these people.
you must know these people. But I think the family has the party boat in Portsmouth.
Yes, they do.
Right.
And you see, if people don't see it like that, like his dad have been doing that for years, and he came in, he followed his father's trade, and he's the youngest captain in half, moving this boat around, and it only shows that is a great example we want to give to our children. You know, if they
Mhm.
take up our trade, some people say, "Oh, farming is dirty," yeah, but the money is good. It
Yeah, the
is
money is
better.
clean.
It is better to have your own money than to beg for it.
Then
So
you
at the
have
end of the day, like everything else, when you go to the shop owner don't ask you if this is money that came from the farm or if this money came from the another business. Are you executive? They don't care.
Petra, Mrs. George, I used to have a business importing vehicles when I was a youngster going graduating from high school.
Oh, wow.
So I used to deal with farmers who came to buy their vehicles to me from me, and sometimes $5, $20, their bag of money, thing well collected, and they want their vehicles. Oh, Mr. Charles, I'm looking for a Toyota or a Nissan, double cab, 4-wheel drive. I say it will cost X amount, and that's not a problem. And they have that money there ready to go. They want their vehicle and they're ready. The only problem, talk about the access to the farms. 'Cause I'm hearing the stories on two sides. One, some farmers have been complaining that the roads to their farms have been destroyed by of course time and storms, and I'm guessing improper drainage and lack of maintenance, so they have been unable to access their farms. And on the flip side, I've been hearing the government saying that they have been repairing X amount of roads all over the place. But how does that what's your take on that? And two, how does that affect the outputs?
Well, it yes, definitely will affect the output because if the farmers cannot access the land, then they cannot plant. And if the vehicles cannot go up to their land, then they are constrained on the amount they can produce. So and
You're muted.
some farmers it's true that some of the family road are not in proper condition, and that you have must have a four-wheel drive to get there because
Right.
of the drain, the holes in the road, and it's not level and all that. And because I know that because my husband is from Woodfordale, and my husband used to have before we came up there, he used to do farming as well. That's his trade, and his garden was way up in
Okay.
the hill, and he had his old bumping basic Toyota four-wheel drive to go up there. Sometimes when I go up there, we used to be rocking side to side, because the road was so bad, and that was before
Yes.
Maria. And then
Oh, wow.
After Maria came,
Wow.
it was just out of Alan, out of order outline. All that rain, all that trees were in the road, and farmers were trying their best to clear up the road as best as they can. Yes, they get some assistance from time to time, but the road itself was not repaired to, its former glory. And yes, the government is trying to fix some of the roads, but it's not. They're not going to the extreme points of the farms
So,
right up. So the
so, they,
farms
so they're not doing a complete job then. So they're only doing
yes,
you're only able to access the beginnings?
like some of the farm roads, they like I don't know the distance, but let's say quarter of the access is done to from the top. So those lower down can have access to the farmland, but those right up will not be able to have that type of access to the farmland. And those higher up tend to be the bigger farmers who are planting, on a bigger scale.
Right. Okay. What about things like our finished products, such as we have these cocoa producers. We have the guys in Dominica who produce the pepper sauces, and of course those who do the cocos, the cocoa for to sell, cocoa for sale. What about those products? Any sort of markets for those things?
Yes, Carlos, there is always a market for these things as well. And because Dominicans, there are a lot of Dominicans in the US Virgin Islands. And we all Dominican people, wherever they go, they still like the little cocoa from Dominica, they still like the pepper sauce, and so on. So, bringing that up will be very good for them. And as you can see, my son my son wants me to take care of him. Let me just give him my phone.
Okay.
Okay, he's good to go. He's done. Yeah. So he just wanted to watch something because I am something doing. So yeah, Dominicans love their produce. I will say that for sure. Carlos,
Right.
Dominicans in the diaspora, they love their homegrown stuff. So yes, they will be willing to buy our hot peppers, our cocos, our spice. I have a young lady who is in the States, and she asked me if I can source for her some spices and leaves, because she's doing tea bags.
Right.
She's doing tea bags up there, and she'd really like if she could get her leaves, like her boaden leaf and her
Oh,
this other
wow.
leaf from Dominica. So I'm also trying to get to see. I'm working with a gentleman who's trying to see which farmers that deal with spice and nutmegs and the sort of things that we could also export to the US for the people who need them.
Right.
So it's not only here. I mean, it's everywhere. Dominicans everywhere love their stuff, and it's just trying to create a way that we could still eat. We could still eat from our country without being there.
Okay. Just hold on one second. Hold on one second. Let me. You mentioned the Boaden Petro. I have lots of what I I should be contacting you now. After the program, we will talk more about the Boaden.
Yeah, yeah. She gave me a list of what some of the leaves that she uses to make the tea bags, and
Mhm.
so if I could find a way to get it to her, that would be lovely. So I'm trying to see how I can get the farmers in Dominica who have these things to get it dried, because we
Mhm.
cannot bring it there green. So we have to get it
Naturally,
dried. Yes.
naturally.
Get it dried
Okay.
and see how we can put it together, package it nicely, and ship it over to her. So
Oh,
people out there willing to buy from us, or diaspora is willing to buy from us wherever they are, is just trying to get a way to get it to them. So that is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be the middleman to get stuff from Dominica to ship to other places so that everybody can be happy.
now you mentioned earlier working with Dexia to get produce. I mean, Dexia is the arm of government who is responsible for marketing products from Dominica to the outside world and locally as well. But what has been the feedback or reception, the working relationship with the government as on a whole? Have you been have they been getting favorable responses? Has there been pushback? Has there been red tape? You know, that kind of thing, or is it has it been smooth sailing?
Well, I have not dealt with them directly, but the gentleman that deals with them, he deals with them on a daily basis. So he has no problem dealing with them. He's the agent in Portsmouth on the port. He's it's Royal Investment.
Right.
If you remember last year
Yes,
when
you
Ginger
did a
was in
program with Royal
Dominica,
Investments.
nice. So that is one of my guys right there. We are working together
Hmm.
as well in the industry. So he's the
Hmm.
liaison for me in Dominica, and he works closely with Dexia, and he don't have any problem or any red tape. So it's just getting things in order. And some of the produce Dexia didn't have either because again Dexia buy from the farmers. And if
Right,
there are no farmers doing it, then Dexia cannot have the produce.
right.
So that is one of the things. Dexia did not have the produce because the farmers did not have it to provide it for them. So
Now, in terms of preparation for export, I remember when we used to have bananas selling to the UK, every farmer had their box for them to prepare their stuff, and you had to treat the bananas, dip it in chemicals and all those kind of things so that it can last for the journey. Well, in your case, for now, you're using air transport, but when you get to using ocean, it will take a little longer than a few hours to get from Dominica to you. Are there any special arrangements that have to be made with the farmers? Any special preparations that the farmers have to do to be able to get their produce outside? Do they have to package it in a certain way or just put it in a crocker's bag and bring it to the port?
well, like everything else, presentation is key.
Correct.
So I will encourage my farmers to present their produce properly because in the U.S. Virgin Islands it's not just anyhow. There are ways they look for it. It has to be
Right.
well clean, no soil, no pests, no leaves. The bags have to be clean. You can use crackers bags for like your yams, your dasheen, your
Mhm.
ginger if you want to, but they have to be clean, no dirt, nothing on them. And then the boxes,
And you just mentioned ginger now, but you never mentioned it before.
oh, well, you see, come back to mine. So ginger as well.
All right.
Um, Ginger as well. So there are other people here who in the Virgin Island who does they do sell produce as well. Like there are I know three Dominicans that sell produce as well in their supermarkets. There are two supermarkets, not well, mini mats like. They
Right.
sell one sell food and then sell little supplies and then sell the provisions from Dominica. Another lady, she do have provision from Dominica and she have a little mini mart, you know, a little shop. We call them shop in Dominica. And then
Right.
there's this young lady from Dominica who has a gas station and she sell her Dominican produce as well. So I work with all of them. Like I work with all of them to make sure, you know, that we're working together. So most for the last 2 months, I've been working with the young lady for the gas station. So she sent all her produce for me. I do the clearing and everything for her, and it's just
Mhm.
pick up and go. We had some good produce from Dominica for the last 2 months. So we hope that we can continue getting our produce from Dominica. And as time go by, I will be able to get the larger quantities for the supermarket. I'm still working for the on the supermarket produce because the demand is way much higher in terms of quantity, and I have not gotten the quantity as yet that they require. And also I'm working with the pricing to make sure I need the farmers to give me a consistent price. So I don't want the farmers to start with one price
One
and
day
then,
$2 a pound,
and
next
then
day
tomorrow
$5.
$3 a pound, because when I go to the supermarket, when I give them the price, I want to be able to give them one consistent price. So all year
Right.
round they will be getting the same price. So I'm working with the farmers to get their pricing and to put the perfect price together that everybody in that doing the trade can get something out of it and get something that is beneficial to them for the time
But
and the service.
are there not set prices for the market for various products that is set safe by the government? That okay, you're doing dashing is $10 a pound, bananas $5, whatever it is. Uh, are there not things set up for that?
I'm not sure if there is a standard price in Dominica, because the first time I asked for seasoning peppers, it was 350 a pound. And
Mhm.
then 2 weeks after, the gentleman that the lady checked for me said his peppers were 550 a pound. So from in 2 weeks time, the peppers came up from 350 to 550. So you understand what I'm speaking about. Is the
Yes,
consistency, like when the demand, if so many people are asking for it, the farmers tend to raise their price because a lot
right,
of people is asking for it. So
right.
in trade, we cannot always do that, because you're not only affecting yourself, because you're affecting the person who's buying from you, because now they have to change their price to give to the
Yes, to the end user,
vendors.
and then the end person with the ball. Later on, last week I buy that
Exactly.
that was $3 for that parcel. Now is $7. What happened to your?
Exactly. So yeah, we have to try to work with the farmers and have them have a consistent price. So like I tell the farmers, what is your price when the demand is high? Give me your price when the demand is high. So if your price when the demand is high for the produce is 550, that is the price that I want, because this is the price I want to make the price
And you
for
want
the
it to be
vendor.
consistent.
Nice. So
This is
even
a
when your price reduces because of whatever, I don't know what they do in Dominica.
because the market is swamped with produce,
Nice.
and as long as you're
We
getting your
still be
produce
able to
sold, you
sell
get
that price for the person, because so even when it come on demand, that is the same price the person will be paying for it as well.
right.
So consistency is key, and quality is also something else that I'm very, very interested in, the quality of goods. So just because I say I'm going to buy stuff from Dominica don't mean it's anything. You
Yes.
have to have a quality standard that you
Mhm.
have to meet. And I am not there on the ground to see. So if a farmer send me the his first time shipping with me and I buy it from him, and when I get it, it's not of the quality, then I won't buy from him again. Because it's not all about making money. If you're going to sell something for somebody, you have to sell something that is good.
Petra, I enjoying this conversation with you. Um, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you're a very busy woman today. Today being Sunday, you have to be up and down, and I know that you may have a container to pack or
Yes,
something.
yes, yes. We accepting cargo this afternoon from 3 to 6. So if anybody watching now have their family or friends that they in St. Croix that they want to send something down to Dominica, I am at Williams Delight, and my number is 340-423-7502. You can call me or WhatsApp me, and I will give you the exact location. Right now we're doing $2 a pound, because that's what we are doing now. Hopefully, in the near future, we would want it to be a lot cheaper than that. So we are working on that as well. But for now, it's $2 a pound, $2 a pound to from cargo from St. Croix to Dominica, and we will be collecting cargo every Sunday in the month of December from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. And Yeah, so let's make it happen, people. Let's help each other to facilitate trade between U.S. Virgin Island and Dominica, and in extension to Saint Martin and Guadeloupe and Martinique and Saint Kitts and Nevis and Montserrat, that and Antigua as well. So we have Oxford shipping from all these places to these places. So farmers, let's go back to the ground. Let's get our hands dirty. And not only that, I'm also calling on the government as well to give concession to the farmers because I know the fertilizer, the bag of fertilizer is very expensive now. And if we want to encourage our farmers to go back to the soil, let us meet them halfway. Let us give them some benefit from taxing so that they can go back to the soil. Let us help them with equipment, tillers. Let us get this for farmers so that they don't have to use pack all the time. I mean, yes, pack is good, but as technology increases, everything increases as well. So let us change our machinery to make it better for the farmer. He can be more effective in doing what he has to do, and more efficient in doing what he has to do, and at a lower cost to him, and so he can give better produce and produce more. And this was just for my government of Dominica to help my farmers so that I can get my produce to trade.
I'm very happy that you said that, Petra. Interestingly, I see what you're doing, and I'll raise you one better. I have decided to go back to the soil. I used to do my little thing when I was a young boy growing up, and in the back of my house. And when I come to the countryside, and I go to Toto up in the heights with my grandfather, rest his soul, and the donkey Janie. Used to go up there and do my little farming, come down with my feed for my granny to make the broth for supper. So by 3 o'clock we back, after going up for early in the morning. But I have decided to go go into the farming. As starting small and grow with it as I progress. There's also a program that government is doing, which is a white potato program. Farmers are encouraged to get on board, prepare the plots for the for the planting of the soil. It's a nice program, and I think Dexia through government is also handling the marketing of this produce. So that is also something you can probably look at if that is a product that you can sell. Right? Although potatoes are things that come from all over the place,
Yeah,
but
well, it's never, like I say, Carlos, it's always about the quality and the price. People will
right,
buy it from you as long as the quality is great and the price is great. So if you have the better price is what that demand takes in the market. So if I
yeah,
can get better price in Dominica and better quality in terms of from the ground, less chemicals we use in our food is better. So I
you're right,
also promoting health in everything that I'm doing. Like I have everything in a ball. Like yes, farmers, but we're talking about health, we're talking about financial benefits. So it's not just one package, it's everything part of it. We want to make sure people eat healthier. We want to make sure people can sustain themselves and their family. We want to make sure that people can create generation wealth from what they're doing. Because working 9 to 5, you're on a fixed price, like the person paying you a fixed rate.
right.
And you can do nothing out of the box because you have to live within that means. But with
Mhm.
farming, you can expand. So you can expand your disposable income can increase, and so you can save more, you can create generation wealth not only for yourself but for your next generation to come. So these are some of the things that I want to encourage people to look at it on the brighter side. Look at it as providing for your next generation to come, giving them a generating wealth for them, that when they come in they do not
Mhm.
have to struggle as much as you did because you're making a better way for them. So if we look
All
at it
right.
on that side, we'll go back to the soil, do what our parents used to do. My father used to be a farmer. My father used to be a fisherman, and he still used to hold security at the Lai River Hotel. And my father used to plant. My father had a boat. He used to take his produce and bring it to Saints. And let me not forget, yeah, we also trade with Saints as well. That's between Guadeloupe and Dominica, Recent, we call it. So my father
Okay,
used to go there every 2 weeks and sell his produce. So those days it was francs. My father used to bring down francs, and he used to bring down apples, and he used to bring down yogurt for us to eat.
and
And my father was
grapes.
still a fisherman, and grapes. And he was a fisherman. So on days when the farm not ready, he used to do his fishing. When go out outside, that do what so
Blows
I
on
know
tree.
what farming is about. It's not like I sit there and just say, no, she does the talking. No, I know the benefits of farming, the benefits of fishing. So these are the things I want to encourage our young people to go back to do. And trust me, when you can go to the shop and pull out your wallet and say, hey, make a wrong for my boys, make a wrong for my boys, you feel so good that you can contribute to somebody else. So, but you have to have the monies to do that. Legal monies, that is legal way to do it.
Right.
So today I'm saying this, and when I become Prime Minister of Dominica in the future, these are some of the things that I will definitely push, that we stand and we rule the Caribbean in producing top quality products. So this is my one of my things as the next Prime Minister of Dominica in the future, to bring our young people back to the soil, encourage them to be fishermen, encourage them to be farmers, encourage them to be entrepreneurs, because we can do it. We have the brain, we have the land, we have the opportunity, and I know we can do it, Carlos.
Thank you. Thank you, Petra. Thank you, Petra. I'm not taking a minute more of your time. I want to give you the opportunity to make if you have any last encouragements for persons looking at us this afternoon as they get ready to start another working week. Any, just give us a reminder of how I'm going to put the flyer up so persons can see it, but just give us a little reminder of how we can get in touch with you.
Okay, yes. So my number, as I said, is 340-423-7502. If you're in Dominica, you can WhatsApp me anytime. I will see your message and I will get back to you. If you're in US Virgin Island, you can call or you can WhatsApp as well. And if you're in any part of the world that you want to know if we can reach you via trade, you can do this as well. You can WhatsApp me as well. I would love to hear your ideas and where you stay, and see how I can contribute to facilitating trade in your area as well. So this is what I want to do. I want to help Dominicans in extent to helping myself to bring export agricultural products, agricultural produce, fish, and other local produce, as Carlos says, like the spice and the cocoa sticks, and anything, pepper sauce, whatever we make locally, and to have it exported to the US Virgin Islands to enhance trade through both of the countries.
There you have it, folks. Thank you, Petra, for your time. I look forward to even more engagements with you as we carry on this mission of getting Dominica better. Folks, it's been a wonderful Sunday. I look forward to hearing your questions, and of course, we will respond to them. Um, Please feel free to reach out to Mrs. George, who is doing a wonderful job. As little as she's trying, it will grow and more farmers will join. I look forward to the government making true to its promise that we're giving duty free to vessels to come into Dominica. They said pleasure, but they should also look at those who are doing business for Dominica, increasing foreign exchange for the country. So, folks, best of the afternoon to everybody. We look forward to engaging with you. Team Unity is all about solutions. Be well, and thank you for watching.